Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Virtual Flight Diaries. My name is John, and this is another live stream. Boy, it seems like we've been a while. So what do we have here? We have a fan pick route. We're going to go tour Mount Shasta. So the route we're going to take is Lake Tahoe to Crater Lake Regional Airport. And we're going to be flying via Donner Pass. We're going to overfly the SETI Institute Alien Radio Telescope. And we're going to fly around Mount Shasta. All of these locations have some interesting facts about them. So we're going to check them out. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to have some fun. So let's get started. So we're here at Lake Tahoe, and we're all gassed up. Flight plan is in. Pre-flights have been done. So let's get on board, get fired up. So we got a somewhat of a long flight, but we're going to be doing mostly a sightseeing tour. So we're on full fuel with just me on board. So hopefully we won't have to do any kind of fuel stops along the way. All right, so let's get fired up here. Get the pre-oiler on. Looks like we're going to have good weather for our sightseeing route, so that's going to be cool. Pre-oil our engines up. I think it's so cool that you have to tap the gauges. The needles stick randomly. Okay, oiled up, cowl flaps open, mixture full rich, throttle full. Fuel pumps on. 4, 5, 6. Back. Kick that up to 1,000 RPMs. Generators come on. Inverter and avionics mess. We'll guys bring our mixtures back.
TOS system test okay.
Our flight plan is in, so let's go. Wait. There. Back. Alright, GPS is all set up. Go on standby. We're going to be flying VFR today. No ATC. Start pulling the cabin down. It's a little warm today. Taxi light can come on. I did our electrical test earlier. We're going to go out and do a quick run-up. I actually had the engines speaking of engines, they were a bit loud. So I actually had the engines have a malfunction the other day. I had a magneto that failed on me. Hey, Rory's in the house. How you doing, Rory? So I actually had a magneto failure the other day, just a random failure, and I was able to catch it in the run-up. So it's a good thing to do in these planes is to go through your run-up checks, at least the basic run-ups. All right, so engines warmed up. Gonna head out to taxiway and do a quick run up. Make sure we're operating good. Full of fuel, so a little heavy. So our first flyover is going to be Truckee, California, and Donner Pass, which was the site of the Donner Party. It was a quite an interesting tragedy that occurred in 1846 in this area. So when we get out over there, we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Want to get too low on the RPMs. I also don't want to kind of like a little bit of a downhill, so I don't want to keep riding the brake either. All right, we get down here, we'll do our run up. Gonna point her into the wind. Park brake, come on. Fixture's full. Bring the RPM up to 2200. Left drop. Range. Right. Mid range. That seems a little low. And bring it back down. So I don't really like that the needles were split and that one was a little low, so I wonder. No failures. Engine looks good. Just might be a little fouling. Let it run for a little bit. Alright, so pitch trim is on. Get our landing lights on. Strobes and cog lights. Pretty warm out, so we don't need heat. Cow flaps open. Alright, let's take off. Mixtures full. Why that split, but doesn't show any failures, so. Alright, so we're going to climb out to 10,000. Yes, Black Square's Starship. I cannot wait for that thing. It's actually, I have a soft spot for that plane. Ever since I saw the Flying Magazine article on that when I was a kid, well, younger. I think it was like 1990. I've had a love for that plane, and I absolutely cannot wait for that to come out. I heard Boris Audio Works is doing the PT6 sounds for it, and I think it's going to be amazing. Alright, so radar on. Let's get off the ground. Yeah, it looks like we don't have that needle problem anymore. And the fact that black square is like a genius at model making for this sim. Yeah, I can't wait for it. Oh, she's heavy. Boy, you can feel it. I got a lot of fuel on board. Climb out over here. I'll go around this mountain here. Less of a ridge. Alright, so we power back. I have not heard anything on its release date. They're keeping it hush-hush. Yes. I have the Duke in the Virtual Flight Diaries colors. So I was playing around with some livery painting and decided to make a Virtual Flight Diaries Grand Duke. Alright, autopilot, come on. Nope, that was my first delivery I ever made. I didn't think it came out too bad. The thing is, I got to figure out the orientation for my logo. You can see it's kind of a little bit off. This is Lake Tahoe. It splits actually. Right down the middle is the state line for California. So on the left-hand side is the state of California, and over here we have Nevada. Thank you very much. I actually thought it came out really nice. It was definitely a learning curve. Little tweaking here and there, but I think it came out really decent. Yeah, I was playing around with Blender, but there's no paint kit for this plane, so I actually had to do a conversion of the texture files. It was a whole nother process in itself. And I didn't have anything fancy like Photoshop or anything like that. I just did it in Windows Paint. Mostly YouTube. I used YouTube and just some internet articles on the subject. Pretty much did a Google search, how to paint MSFS 2020 planes. Alright, so let's get on our flight track here for a bit. So right over this mountain ridge is California. And that whole valley and basin over here was part of the Donner Party encampment, so to speak. We're doing a little sightseeing tour here. Fan requested that fly around Mount Shasta, so I figured why not? It was close enough to Lake Tahoe, so why not start flying from Lake Tahoe? The scenery is actually quite spectacular. Go to heading mode for a bit so we can check out this area. We come over this ridge. But just say about watching the YouTube videos was actually a little difficult. The tutorials were pretty fast paced and had a pause and rewind a lot. The reading some articles on the subject was a little easier, and then it was a ton of trial and error. That's Truckee Airport, and Interstate 80 is the main highway through here, and it goes right up through this cut in the mountain, and that's called Donner Pass. So in 1846, the Donner Party decided to make the trek to California, which a lot of the people were doing at the time, but they made them so that the trip usually, so they started out in the spring, and the trip usually lasted 4 to 6 months on the Oregon Trail, and and the same one with the video game that everyone goes to, and yes, they did die of dysentery, some of them. All right, we're gonna go direct right up this valley here. So, but the mistake that the Donner Party made was they decided to set out over Hastings Cutoff, which was supposed to be a shortcut. Oh, so how long did it take the delivery? It took me a couple of weeks because I didn't work on it, an hour or two here, but the biggest part was the trial and error part of loading the textures into the plane, loading the plane into the simulator, seeing what mistakes I made on the plane, and then, going back to the textures, making corrections, and then reloading the textures and reloading the plane in. So it took a bit. So anyway, to get back to the Donner Party, just a real quick reference here. They got trapped here. Because the shortcut was not a shortcut. They got snowed in, and their food ran out. And the biggest historical note with the Donner Party, which makes them famous or infamous, is that they actually they were the first documented noted group of people to resort to cannibalism to survive. They actually ate 4 of their people, which is pretty gruesome. You have to be starving pretty terribly. I mean, they were resorting to boiling leather items that they had to eat. So that's how bad the food situation got here. And this valley is where they were stuck. That lake back there, actually. That lake right there is Donner Lake. It's where they had encamped for the winter of 1846 for 4 months. So yeah, so I haven't tried any other planes yet, and I'd like to learn to use Blender. That seems a lot easier, but you need, from what I understand, you need a paint kit for that. And if the developer hasn't created a paint kit, or someone else hasn't created a paint kit, I don't think you can use Blender. But I mean, I could be wrong. So this is the middle of nowhere, because I can't even. I'm not using any ATC because we're VFR, of course, but there's no FS ATC chatter on, and there is no ATC in this area. So the next stop we're going to be going to is the SETI Institute's Alien. Look that up. Alien Radio Telescope. Alien Telescope Array, the ATA. And what the SETI Institute, which is the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, what they do is they pretty much monitor the cosmos looking for radio frequencies that have a pattern that would suggest an intelligent transmission. And they've been doing it for quite some time, since the mid-90s, I think. And as of today, there has been no no findings of intelligent life, but they keep going at it through donations and everything else. They monitor the skies. The first radio telescope actually was a big dish that was pretty iconic. It was even in a James Bond movie in Puerto Rico, which actually no longer exists. But the problem with the dish was that it could only monitor a small portion of the sky, where the SETI array can actually monitor multiple points. So they can actually look at a bigger portion of the sky. But they still haven't found any light. But Rory, yeah, I mean, my suggestion is just to play around with just painting the liveries, and just take the time, trial and error, and probably should. My suggestion would be to start with someone who had painted a plane that might have the lines that you want. So I mean, that's kind of what I did. There was a base, this line was already in existence, just a different color, and then just go from there. Thank you. Well, I read a lot, so I knew the route that I was going to take this evening. So I read a bunch of stuff on the different sightseeing points. I guess I would be pretty good on Jeopardy or any kind of trivia game show. Let's take a look at this. Why do you keep going loud? Okay. All right. So this is the Sierra Nevada mountains in California, and it is one of the most desolate areas in the contingent, the 48, the lower 48, next to Alaska. I definitely would not want to have a dual engine failure here. Because I'm looking around and there doesn't look like any place that I could set this bird down. Now probably that looks like there's a roadway, or no, there's a riverbed down there. Yeah, so I'd put it down in the riverbed. And we get out the survival gear. Yeah, it looks like there's also a little town down there too, so that might help. So to get to the telescope array, so we're going to get to this point here, and then we're going to make a heading of 329. So I'm going to set that up. And then we got to go hunt for it. It's not very big. So just to wrap up the Donner Party thing before we get to the SETI Telescope, I just want to so the Donner Reed Party, there was actually two groups. Donner Reed, it's actually 5 groups of families, but Donner Reed were the major parties, had 87 members, and they were trapped for 4 months over the winter, and 48 survived the ordeal. So almost half died of starvation and disease. And just to add that gruesome note, 4 of the 87 were consumed. I'm not going to get it. There was details on what they actually did, but I'm not going to get into that. So yeah, so the fan that suggested Mount Shasta actually was watching my my late night stream where we went to Area 51, and he's kind of a an alien file. Is that a thing? Kind of a buff, an alien buff, UFO kind of buff. So apparently Mount Shasta has some interesting legends concerning it with alien sightings, which I thought was interesting. All right, so one thing I haven't done, because gotta be a good pilot, is gotta lean out our mixture. So I'm just going to do a fuel flow lean out rather than set up my computer. And we'll bring it back to cruise power, which should give us about 120. Right on the numbers. You would think I put a lot of hours in this plane for some reason. What's going to be cool is I'm going to come out on the other side of this mountain range here, and gets rather flat, so we can drop down a little bit. We don't have to stay up here at 10,000. We're just doing it for mountain clearance. We got to drop down anyway to look for the telescope. Got a little bit cool in the cabin. Close up our air conditioner, and just to finish the cleanup, we're gonna close our cow flaps up. And everything's in the green, so we're good. Yeah, so I think the reason the magneto was off was because of there was probably some fouling, some cylinder fouling. The realism model on this plane is just amazing. That's why I'm excited for Black Square to do the beach starship, because that plane's just wild to begin with. Because I had a fascination with Burt Rutan planes for a long time. My uncle, when I was growing up, my uncle actually was built a Long Easy, a Burt Rutan Long Easy, which is the same principle as the starship. More compact format. And Indian Fox Techo actually did a Long Easy, but the model's not that good, and they haven't really updated it, so it doesn't really work too well in the sim. Or I'd be flying more Long Easy flights. We're coming up on this area is the Chester Rogers area, California. And I did download some scenery for the telescope array. Apparently it's not in the sim. I went to Flight Sim PO, and actually on their scenery map they actually had the somebody actually did the scenery for the telescope array. So I downloaded it. So I haven't seen it yet. The pictures look pretty cool. So I don't know how true to life it is, because I haven't actually been to the telescope array in real life. So, but it'd just be something interesting. So that peak off our nose. Let's see if I can find it for you. Should actually be Laser Park. Now I don't. So there's Mount Helen and Bum Pass Mountain. That's this whole chain right here. So it's up actually home to a bunch of ski resorts. All right, so we're making our turn at Mr. Rogers. There's the airfield. We're going to go into heading mode. We're already set for 329. And we're going to start looking for the telescope. About, be around 40 miles. And it's nestled along a flat somewhere along the below Peak Mountain. So, just gonna follow our map. I have Navigraph up. To give you guys an idea. This is where we are right now. The telescope is somewhere around here. That's what I'm following. So at 200 knots, it should only take us a little bit to get there. 39 miles, about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, something like that. Well, I could talk a little bit about the telescope. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding the SETI Institute and their search for extraterrestrial intelligence. One of them being is that they're super top secret, that if they did find something, that they would never tell a soul, that we'd never know. But I actually went on SETI's website, and their open policy is that knock down a little bit of the conspiracy theory is that their findings would never be kept a secret. And the scientific community actually has proof that they're more of a public knowledge, because they actually had the story of meteorite ALH 84001. It was a small meteorite. It was a piece of Martian surface that was broken off by an asteroid hit that floated to Earth, which actually contained dead microbes that allegedly swam in the Martian seas that were around several billion years ago. So there was proof of ancient life on another planet. Granted, albeit it was a microorganism, but still that's considered life, and they made it public. And contrary to what the conspiracy theorists are out there, and not to knock conspiracy theorists, they have their reasoning behind their thought processes. Um, the public didn't like lose their head that there was life found on another planet. It was actually met with intrigue, and people wanted to know more. So, well, I think the world like go into super panic mode if we actually discover life on another planet. No, I think it would actually be people would embrace it from a scientific standpoint. So I'm a little off course here, so I'm going to make the course of this. Because we want to make sure we're in the right spot to look at this. I think it's somewhere in this valley right here. Drop down to 7,000 feet past the mountain. And start looking for it. I think so yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw my video on this. I did a little tutorial video. I found that there's a little click spot here that you can adjust the descent rate. So you don't have to keep looking down at the panel. It's a little cheat spot. I believe that was with the version 1.1 update. Put ourselves into the valley a little bit, or I should say the foothills of this Sugarloaf Mountain right here. But just to let you guys know, there looks like there's going to be another storm coming through, and if I lose my internet, that's why the stream went offline. Alright, so I'm gonna kill the autopilot and fly this look. If my calculations are right, it's somewhere along this ridge line. So one of the things is it's exactly 300 miles northeast of San Francisco.
Terrain ahead.
And the SETI Institute's headquarters is in San Francisco. Alright, so we're going to head out along this ridge line here.
Sync good. Terrain
Yeah,
ahead.
noted.
Pull up. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
I actually find it more difficult to fly this plane
Terrain ahead.
outside than in the cockpit.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
It's going to inhibit that because we're going to get hit with that. Just slink in a little closer to this ridge line.
$500.
Oh, got the front window guy. Alright, so where are you, telescope? Gotta be around here somewhere. There we are. Look at that. See if we can take a look at that without crashing. Ah, so that's pretty cool. So each of those radio dishes can be pointed in different directions. Power. Did some pretty cool. Trying to do some slow flight here. Drop some flaps, not stall. Yeah, I'm actually. Yeah, one last thing. Hey, welcome to the channel. Yeah, the storms are crazy. I'm hoping I don't lose internet. So that's the SETI Institute's Alien Telescope Array. And their main job is to search for intelligent life on other planets in the universe. So I think we've circled enough around here. Let's head off to Mount Shasta, right? Alright, so climb back up to 7,000. Flaps come up. Trim it out. Turn our autopilot back on. Some climb power into this thing. And get back on our way. So let's see here. Let's get reoriented. Let's go direct nut. There's Mount Shasta off our nose. What's interesting about Mount Shasta is it's an active volcano, for one. It's one of the highest volcanoes on the mainland United States, topping out at 14,000 feet. But it's actually 4 volcanoes that have kind of come together as one big volcano. Its volume, it's also the largest volumetric volcano in the United States, topping out at 85 cubic miles of volume. We're going to go a little higher. So, I mean, imagine what that, 85 cubic miles. And it's surrounded by the Shasta Trinity National Forest. And it's also home to a couple ski resorts, as well as different. But where it really shines in its intrigue is the occult presence of Mount Shasta. So the legends that have grown up around this massive mountain in California. We could start with the Kalmath tribe, Indian tribe. They believed it to be the home of the spirit of the above world named Skell, who fought Leao, who was the spirit of the below world, who resides at Mount Mazama, and he defeated Leao by throwing hot rocks and lava. So the Indians must have seen an eruption occur and came up with this interesting story, this interesting mythology of Mount Shasta. There's a lot of New Age beliefs around Shasta. Several New Age religions have popped up because of the mountain. They believe that it is a ley line junction, a convergence of power. Some of the religions that have occurred are the I Am religion, along with like 4 or 5 other New Age religions that have occurred. But the most interesting thing about Mount Shasta and its legends is the city of Telos. Legend of the city of Telos. So it is believed that the inhabitants of the lost continent of Lemuria, okay, bear with me here, the lost continent of Lemuria, which is said to have sunk into the Indian Ocean, and what Lemuria claim to fame is that it is believed that it is one of the origin continents of the human race, in the belief that we are alien life forms that came to this planet from another planet. The old, our dying planet, and we migrated to Earth. So it's said that the Lemurians live inside the mountain. That's the legend. Which then brings a lot of UFO stuff. They believe that the cloud formations that occur at the top of the mountain are not based on weather. That it's they're just there to mask the Lemurian motherships that come and visit. So it said the mountain is laced with a city of tunnels lined with pools, and that houses the lost Lemurian. So another one is cryptozoologists believe that Mount Shasta is home to Bigfoot. The whole area between Northern California and Southern Oregon is filled with Bigfoot legend. And Mount Shasta is not far from that mark. They said that they've had Bigfoot sightings. So that makes it also an interesting tidbit. So whatever you believe, it still makes it an interesting landmark. We're about to visit that. So I'm going to actually pressurize the cabin. We're going to fly up to 12,000 feet. Maybe higher. I'm gonna put the cabin at 14,000, and we're gonna climb up. We can fly around the summit of Mount Shasta. We're gonna make a couple circles, look at the scenery, and then we'll head off to our destination, which isn't actually very far away, 50 miles north. We're gonna land at Crater Lake. We're not going to actually go to Crater Lake. I'll save that. Crater Lake's actually pretty cool. I've been to Crater Lake in the sim. It's actually modeled really well. And we'll do that one another time. It's probably another 20 minutes above Crater Lake Regional Airport. That scenery, the Virtual Flight Diaries, Grand Duke. It's actually at these altitudes, it's not uncommon to actually still have snow, even this time of year. Doing real well on fuel. Oh yeah. I loaded it up so I didn't have to worry about fuel. So guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Smash that like button. That helps the algorithm. Helps the channel whole. But always remember that if you watch a video and there's even parts you like it, that you should hit the like button for that, because content creating it's not easy. You know, you should always remember to give that like to that content creating. Help the channel out. But that's a hardly. I think this plane, and the DC-3 are some of my favorite. You like that? Yeah. So this is my first attempt at painting a plane in the simulator. I think it came out pretty well. The logo, some of the logos are a little off. I got to figure that one out. I thought for my first livery I would do a plane in Virtual Flight Diaries colors. Another thing about Mount Shasta is that's interesting is it's actually also one of the mountains that doesn't have any glacial erosion to it, so it actually remains quite sharp in its slopes. So if you're ever watching Jeopardy and the answer comes up, what mountain it has sharp-sided slopes due to no glacial erosion? The answer is, what is Mount Shasta? So I was talking to Rory about that. It took me about 2 weeks of trial and error to figure out how to do this. And it was a lot of painting the texture, loading it into the plane, then loading the plane into the simulator, looking at the plane in the simulator, seeing what mistakes were made, and then going back. It's a lot of back and forth. So it was about 2 weeks. I probably could do it faster now that I know kind of how to do it. I'm still nowhere near some of the livery paint simulator are quite the artist when it comes to painting plane. Let's slide in, take a look at Mount Shasta. You can see that's one of the volcanoes. So there's a volcano caldera up here. Like I said, there's 4 volcanoes that come in to make one big volcano. I'm gonna get buffeted by the wind. This scenery is crazy. This is the first time I've seen it, too. can see the different volcanoes that make up Mount Shasta. Is that ice? Pretty cool. So there's the volcano, there's a volcano, there's a volcano, and we saw the other volcano on the other side. And supposedly that this mountain is still active. It's surrounded by ski resorts. That's pretty cool. They do have a known snowboarder actually snowboard down this mountain. I would not want to snowboard down this mountain. Looks like well, for one, there's always the avalanche because of the steep slopes. It's pretty cool, the ice. This whole area is home to the Kalamat Indian tribe. For the Native Americans that resided in this area. Alright, so we head off to our destination. But just over here. Just on the other side of the Oregon-California border. As we say goodbye to majestic Mount Shasta. And there's no real let's not fly into the mountain to get to our point. And there was no real research on how it came up with the name Mount Shasta. And now we're clear of the mountain. We can head on our nav path. And some video soon we'll head up to Crater Lake. Pretty cool. Gonna take something different that up to that. Maybe we'll take a bike out. I mean, we can come down out of the heavens. Sitting in climb power. Start shock pulling turbocharger. Or not shock pulling. Shock pulling is what we don't want to do. Stage pull. The terminology right. Good charts here. Airport elevation 4,000. Looks like we're landing runway 5. Is 5,000. Plenty of room. We'll do a visual approach. Look at it at 1,000 feet above the airport, so our pattern altitude should be 5,095. Has a 12 knot headwind. That's perfect. Oh, it's been set up for the approach. Set the course knob for reference. Runway heading. Send down to our pattern altitude. So those aren't crop circles. I think it's a type of farming method. The airport we're landing at is actually named Crater Lake Calumet. KLM. Yeah, the KO code. Alright, let's set up. Checks. Turn off heater for landing. And we can back another stage. Pull down our turbocharger. Runway should be off our nose, or the airport, I should say. Let's say it's somewhere. And we can blow 5 manifold. And we are stage full. Probably on the other side of that mountain. Turn the recorder on. Yep. Got a first stage flaps. Flap. And we have the airport. Continue runway. A little high. Down. Base. I don't know, shot.
$500.
A little high. Correcting. Welcome to Crater Lake Reef. Flaps up. Thank you. Yeah, this one was fun. All right, so plane. We'll park up over by the hangar. Yeah, flight recorder. That was a pretty good landing. I'll take that one. It was an interesting route today. We learned about cannibalism for survival, the search for extraterrestrial intelligent life, and the mystical mountain of Mount Shasta. It was a very cool trip. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Make more videos like these. Parking brake. Turn off. That's the switch. Generators. Taxi light. Nav light. Like I said, it was a fun trip, and I really enjoyed making the video for you guys. So, hope we learned a little something, and got to see some really cool scenery in the simulator. So, on to the next one, guys. Let's check out that landing. Oh no. Oh yeah, we way overshot our base on that one. Kind of did a modified downwind to get out through that mountain. Shadow. Oh, that was a greaser. That was butter. All right, guys. So that's it for the video, for the live stream. Our next one is going to be Monday in lieu of Military Mondays because of Air Venture Oshkosh. We're going to be flying a DC-3 into Whitman region. I got some Oshkosh Air Show scenery for the airport, and we're gonna do the Warbird's Arrival, based on the actual published note to airmen for the air show. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. fly up past Chicago, and so check that out. Subscribe to the channel, get notifications. Going to AirVenture next Monday. So that's it. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. And clear skies and smooth landing. See ya.